So today we have with us Teriyuki. He is a bureau chief from Washington D.C. Bureau. Of course, hi, welcome to ETV Bharat. You are here for covering this historic G20 Summit. It is a huge event. Of course, the whole world is staring at us. India's presidency, of course, and the fact that the Japanese Prime Minister is also here for the summit. What would you like to comment on India's G20 presidency for that?
Well, first of all, India was in a very difficult situation because of the Ukrainian situation. There is a division between the participants of G20, and so for any country, the presidency would be so difficult. So I was very glad and surprised that they had an agreement, especially on the day one. So that was a surprise.
So, would you like to comment on the key outcomes? Because we see there is a shift in the language when you
Yes.
come from the Bali Declaration about the fact that it's concerning war in Ukraine, not war against Ukraine. So, would you like to comment on that, basically?
Well, compared to the joint communique last year, I think the expression has kind of backwarded. So I'm a bit concerned about it. But it is pretty understandable for any chair country to adopt such a language in order to have an agreement. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, the fact that, as you have already mentioned, that India is hosting this summit at a very, when the whole world is facing this global uncertainties, of course, the geopolitical scenario is changing, given the fact that the Ukraine conflict, and also the China factor is there. Would you like to comment on that, the fact that the Chinese president did not attend it, and yeah.
Yes, so I cover the American politics and the international relationships, and I think the winner this time was the United States, and unfortunately, China was a loser in this venue because, if Xi Jinping came over here, he could have, played a more important role, and he could have, shown the world and other countries that something that he could do, and that China could do. But as you see, all the reports and in the all the articles in newspaper, you don't see any China this time, right? And all you see is the new announcement by the United States and India and some other Middle Eastern countries about the new project, and which is a very big deal. And so, in this competition, I think President Biden really played this game well. Yeah, and China couldn't do well.
All right. So, of course, given the fact that we are here at the International Media Center, it's claimed to be one of the state of the art, and the Indian government has put out all its efforts to give the best possible facilities to all the Indian media as well as the foreign media here. What would you like to share your experience? How has it been for?
Well, the facility here is amazing, and I enjoyed the food.
Enjoy the food,
Yes,
yeah.
and the only problem I would say would be the security. Security check actually, at the front gate. Yeah, it took me 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
How about the movement? I mean, the vehicular movement. How did you reach here? And you could just share if you had some kind of inconvenience caused in that.
Well, it's understandable for any country to be to have really a strict security, but I mean, they had to check everything, all the items that I had, and it took me like 10, 20, 15 minutes, and they even checked the candies and some pills. They put some device, for the radioactive or something,
Yeah.
and it's
Security concern.
security concern. Yeah, that was troublesome.
Right. Right. So let's jump to how Japan and India's relation has been so far, and the fact that we talk about Quad. India will be hosting Quad very soon, for that matter. And what would you like to comment on that, of course? And also, the India-Japan relationship has been growing when it comes to the Act's policy, or in Japan investing in the northeast part of India. Your comment on that?
Well, historically, India has been a very important partner of Japan, and in addition to that, we have formed the framework of Quad, and through that framework, the cooperation has gotten even bigger. So, and we are hoping that that trend continues, and we'll have more and more cooperation. Yeah.
And of course, Japan-China relationship. What is the status right now, given the geopolitical context?
Well, in a short time, because of the treated water that was released from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant, there is a little conflict between two countries right now. But besides that, Japan always wanted to have a good relationship with the neighbors, especially big country like China. And so we are hoping that, especially this year is the 45 anniversary of the beginning of the relationship between two countries. So we are hoping things to get better. And
today is the last day of this summit. Of course, you must be following this from quite some time now, and today we are focusing on one future, which is the last session. Of course, since that climate change has been one of the agenda of India, would you like to comment? What do you expect about the declaration? Because we saw a declaration yesterday, and we hope that there will be another declaration. Your take on that?
Well, let's see. Well, each country has a little or different aim, goal for the climate issue, and I don't know. G20 is a good venue for the countries to talk about it, but still, I think in any venues we could talk about the how we can move forward. So I think the outcome of this meeting would work positively for any country, including Japan.
Well, the U.S. president has actually pushed for the reform of the World Bank. You
Yeah.
must be aware about that,
Yeah.
right? And it has been one of the, since the fact that the World Bank president Ajay Banga has been appointed by Biden to look after this entire initiative. What would be your comment, like, when it comes to this reform of World Bank? Is it going to have an impact on India as well? And
Well, I cannot really say about the presidency, but in order to reform the World Bank, and you have to cooperate. I mean, with some other countries that are not necessarily positive about getting the organization better. So that's a long road, ahead. So I don't know, but at least it does make a headline, for us, the reform of World Bank. So.
We have seen this since the fact that yesterday this particular economic corridor has been launched between the Middle East, US, and India. Do you see this as an attempt, probably an effort to give a bash to CPAC, for that matter?
Bash what?
I mean, of course, it comes to probably counter China when it comes to the CPAC corridor.
Yeah. Well, I think it is the another version of Chinese one road that project. Yeah, and I mean strategically I think the United States did really well, because that project did not included not only India but also some other Middle Eastern countries. So those countries are the ones that China is trying to get better relationship. So that would give it some effect.
Thank you so much for joining us, and it's a wonderful talking to you. And we look forward that you have a great ending to this summit. This is Chandrakala Choudhury for ETV Bharat.